Assalamu alaikum students. This is Department of English, Government Postgraduate College Attak, and I am Nasir Ali Shah. Students, we are reading the novel The Old Man in the Sea. In our yesterday's lecture, we read that while Santiago and the young boy Manolin were sitting at a seaside restaurant terrace after having some drink of beer, they discuss about the next day's plan. The boy asks the old man where he was going on the 85th day. The old man replies that he plans to go far out early into the morning, even before the sunrise or into the darkness. The boy, as usual, wants to help him, as we read that at first he offers him sardines for the next day to be used as a bed. Then he offers him the beer. And on hearing the plan of Santiago of the next day, when he decides to go far out into the deep sea, the boy again wants to help the old man, and he tells him that he would try to bring his master or that fisherman with whom he is working to that far where the old man would be working in order to help him in case he catches any big fish which it would be difficult for him to control and subdue. Then after having all this discussion, they decide to pick up their gear from the boat and go to the old man's house. Today, we are to start reading the text from this paragraph. They picked up the gear from the boat. Gear means luggage or the stuff of the old man, which is used generally into the boat for rowing the boat as well as catching some fish or hunting fish. The old man carried the mast on his shoulder. Mast is a long pillar made of wood generally, which is stepped onto a boat for tying the sails with it. The old man carried the mast on his shoulder, and the boy carried the wooden box with the coiled, hard-braided brown lines, the gaff, and the harpoon with its shaft. This is all the luggage that they carried. The boy picked up the wooden box. It was a little box made of wood with the coil being wrapped up. Hard braided brown lines. Hard braided mean tightly twisted together. Those lines were made even stronger by twisting or braiding them. He also picked up the gaff and harpoon. These are his weapons for killing the big fish with its shaft. The box with the bats was under the stern of the skiff, along with the club that was used to subdue the big fish when they were brought alongside. There was another box made of wood in which bats were kept, bats which are used on the hook to catch the big fish. The box with the bats was under the stern. Stern is the front part of the boat. Stern of the skiff. Skiff is the small boat of the old man. Along with the club. Club is a short stick, short and heavy and very strong stick made of wood. That was used to subdue the big fish. Subdue means to control. Especially here it is used as a weapon, this club or this heavy stick. Whenever the old man caught any big fish which it was difficult to kill or to control, the old man used that club or heavy stick as a weapon and beat it with that club. No one would steal from the old man. It shows the general good nature of the people around in that locality, that they knew the old man, and they, as it was the locality of fishermen, all the fishermen knew each other, and they knew they recognized his boat as well. So he was sure that nobody would steal his things or stuff or the luggage even if he left it into the boat, and even if he did not take it home every evening. So he was sure no one would steal from the old man, but it was better to take the sail and the heavy lines home, as the dew was bad for them. But it was even better. Although he was sure that no one would steal these things out of his boat, but it was better to take the sail and the heavy lines home, because if they were left opened or exposed to the dewdrops which fall at night from the sky, it was not dew was not good for them. They could be spoiled by the dew. Though it was quite though he was quite sure no local people would steal from him. He was sure, he was confident that most of the local people were so good that they would not steal his things. Even then, the old man thought that a gaff and a harpoon were needless temptations to live in a boat. Even then, he thought that it was not good that if he left harpoon and gaff into the boat, no local people would steal from him, but if there were some stranger or the people coming or going, wandering from other place, they might steal it. That is why he did not want to leave these things in the boat at night. That is why they picked all these things to take home. They walked home up the road together to the old man's shack and went in through its open door. While carrying the luggage or this stuff, they walked on the door, and when they reached the old man's shack is a small cottage-like small house. This is the picture, almost an imaginary picture of that little shack. So they went in through its open door. The open door of the shack or the cottage of the old man shows his poverty, because there was nothing, any costly thing into his house or in his cottage, which about which he might have been suspicious to be stolen by a thief or any person or any stranger, for which he had to lock his house or the door of his cottage. That is why when he came back in the evening daily from the sea and picking up all that luggage, the door of his house was usually open. The old man leaned the mast with its wrapped sail against the wall, and the boy put the box and the other gear beside it. The mast was nearly as long as one room of the shack. This mast, which the old man had carried on his shoulder, it was a long mast, and it was almost as long as the one room of the shack. The shack was made of the tough bud shields of the royal palm, which are called guano. And in it there was a bed, a table, one chair, and a place on the dirt floor to cook with charcoal. The shack was very poorly built. It was not a very good looking or strong house. It was made of the tough bird shields or the long and tough leaves of the palm tree, which are called guano. And in his shack or in that little house, there was only a bed, a table, one chair, and a place on the dirt floor to cook with charcoal. All the stuff in his home, all the things in his home show his poverty. He was so poor that there was nothing nothing which could be called costly, anything. On the brown walls of the flattened, overlapping leaves of the sturdy fibered guano. Flattened mean anything made flat or straight or in a straight condition. On the brown walls of the flattened, overlapping leaves. Overlapping mean partly covering each other. Overlapping leaves of the sturdy means strong, fibered guano. There was a picture in color of the Sacred Heart of Jesus and another of the Virgin of Cobur. Virgin of Cobur means there was a statue of Virgin Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, at Cobur in Cuba. Cobur is the name of a place in Cuba where people go on pilgrimage. So it was a picture, there was a picture of Sacred Heart of Jesus as well as his mother Mary, who is called Virgin of Cobur. These were relics of his life. Relics, relic mean it is something which is considered to be sacred, that belong to someone and which is kept after one's death as a remembrance. These were the relics of his wife. Means these things were kept in the house by his wife, who is long dead, and he has kept these things in his house as well, even after the death of his wife. Once there had been a tinted photograph of his wife on the wall. Some time ago there was a colored photograph, tinted means colored photograph of his wife as well on the wall in the house, but he had taken it down. But quite long ago he had taken that picture of his wife down from the wall because it made him too lonely to see it. It also shows the loneliness of the old man. He had no family member, no children. Even there was no wife. His wife had died long time ago. That is why he had taken down her picture from the walls, because while seeing the picture of his wife, he felt very sad and very lonely. That is why he took it down from the wall. And it was on the shelf in the corner under his clean shirt. And after taking that picture of his wife down from the wall, he put it on the shelf in the corner of the room under his clean shirt. Students, it is enough for today's lecture. We shall continue reading the text in our next lectures.